What's up, Tiger Nation? My name is Betty Sue, and welcome to Pop Culture Corner. This week, since there's not a lot going on, we're going to be interviewing some of Irving High's favorite teachers, and we're going to see what they recommend for us to watch.
Hey guys, I'm Mrs. Pineda. I teach anatomy and physiology and forensics at Irving High. What? Class of 2020. Love y'all.
This is Mr. Gonzalez, film and TV show critic.
I'm Miss Elias, student council advisor and senior class sponsor.
My name is Mr. Cruz.
I'm watching a Spanish-based show called Money Heist. In Spanish, it's Casa de Papel. Strongly recommend you watching this in Castellano, in Spanish, with English subtitles because a lot gets lost in translation. I've also been watching Grimm just because it's my style, I guess. It's a police officer who's a Grimm and kills like bad monsters.
I've been binging several, but probably the main one that comes to mind is Schitt's Creek. It's a comedy on Netflix. And it's probably my favorite comedy since The Office.
I'm watching Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, Little Fires Everywhere, and Gentefied.
Two shows. There's Peaky Blinders, which is a show that is admirable if you're into like the Martin Scorsese films, just gangsters, mafias. It's an ode to the old school mafia gangster of like the 1920s, but with a modern twist. And it's meant for mature audiences, but it holds its own. It's not one of the best shows, but it's a good show. And then the other show I've been watching with my wife is Boy Meets World.
It's really cool. It's sort of like a Robin Hood, steal from the rich to give to the poor. A group of criminals that end up having all these different types of relationship. You see the way they grow. They're led by the profesor, and they kind of have to go rob a bank. And when they go rob a bank, they're actually gonna make money so that they can give it to the people. It's a very it's an amazing suspenseful thriller, very intellectual, very clever, very what's going to happen next kind of thing. The Grimm's about a police officer who can see people for what they really are, and sometimes they're really bad monsters, so kills them.
Schitt's Creek is about a wealthy family who loses all their money, and so they have to relocate to this very small podunk town called Schitt's Creek, and it's very different to their old, former kind of glamorous life full of luxury. So it's about them adjusting to the small town life and really learning how to redefine themselves as individuals, but also as a family unit.
Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, something happened to her, so she has this power where she hears people's inner feelings and everything, but she hears them in song. And so they dance their feelings out, and she sees like this whole production of it. And I love the singing. Skylar Astin's in it, and he is amazing. Little Fires Everywhere is about this lady moves in, and then this other lady is like, who is her landlord? Like, who is this? I'm gonna look her up. She seems mysterious. And then her families are falling apart. It's also a book, so you should check it out. And then Gentefied is about Latinos in LA and just their lives, and that one's pretty funny.
Boy Meets World is you see this kid go from his young middle school years, like in 6th grade, I believe, and then how he transcends to a man. He's discovering different parts about life, whether having friends who have a different lifestyle than him. Like he's middle class, his best friend is from a really poor trailer park. How he deals with love, how he deals with ambition and being a good student, but also how to be a good person in general, all the way, and it follows him all the way to marriage and college. So it's a really cool show. It's pretty funny. Mr. Feeney's an icon. He's like his neighbor/teacher. And Peaky Blinders, I touched on it. It's a 1920s gangster show. It's loosely based off of some events that happened in Birmingham, which is like the middle of England, not too far from London. But what I'm intrigued about with the show is how it touches on parts of history, especially World War I.
Money Heist, a 4.67, just because it could always get better. And Graham, I'm gonna give it a rockin' 3.5 because it's so cool.
I would give Schitt's Creek 5 stars. It's hilarious, over the top, it's outrageous, but it's also like it has really nice human moments. I don't cry a lot, but this has made me tear up a couple of times.
Zoe's Playlist, I rate it a 5 because they pick amazing. Oh, no. 4.5. I take it back. 4.5. They have amazing guests on there, but one of the actresses isn't the best singer, but it's still a very good show. And it makes me cry, which every show kind of makes me cry, but you know. Little Fires Everywhere, I give it a 4 because I don't know where they're going to go from it because it was only one book. But the acting is amazing. They could have done better because they like go back in time, and so they could have done better with the casting of that. Not that I'm the expert of casting, but This Is Us has set a bar very high for other people. And then Identified, I give it a 5. It's hilarious.
I think Peaky Blinders, what it needs to work on is dialogue and delivery. It's not always realistic, and that can bore a person. It verges on the edge of drama where you feel like you're watching a play take place and you're not really watching actual scenes, and I'm more of a realist. So I'd give it a 3. Some episodes are 4s. And then Boy Meets World, it's a 3. It's not in terms of comedy, it has its moments where you remember those episodes. And then others, it's more of just a lighthearted show. So overall, I'd give it a 3 or a 4.